a child, I know. You're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair.
I'm not gonna lie, these hills are challenging me a little bit after the flatlands of Orkney. Okay, second mistake this morning is that I didn't set my Strava up before I started off. So what's happened is it's only picked up my GPS signal, I don't know, somewhere along the way. Anyway, the data up here is terrible, so what I should have done is put the location on in the data, set it up before I actually started walking. When I had some service, it would have worked a bit better then. But anyway, it's going. It's not showing a very good time or distance at the moment, which is why I'm not going to show it to you, because it's crap. But yeah, note to self, set it up. I was just so used to walking on Orkney and there was signal everywhere, that I forgot that once I got back here. I may need to look up a different way of doing this. Anyway, yeah, note to self. So this is a kind of interesting little bit of valley. Actually, it's a bowl. We call it the Coombe in Welsh, C-W-M. And I think it's what's called a hanging valley. So it's got an end. So it sort of runs in and it comes to an end. And up there, right up on the top there, is the moors. So it's open moorland. And from up there you can actually see the main ridges of Snowdonia, because we're in the southeastern end of the Snowdonia sort of foothills, if you like. So these mountains, they're kind of minor compared to the Snowdon range, but they're quite challenging. So today I'm going up sort of around here. God, I just get my finger in the right place. I'm going up here, round the back of here, and I'll show you when I get up there, but this is actually a hill fort on the back, and over this way for another day. This path, where I missed my finger here, this path actually goes up and round and up over the Drovers Road, sort of over the back of this one, and then that's a circular route as well. I'm having problems actually at the moment identifying circular routes. I've been walking these mountains a long time, like decades. I've always gone in one way and then come back, you know, just like straight lines. I suppose as I'm getting more mountain fit, I'm trying to find routes that take me a longer way around. Anyway, let's crack on. Starting to walk around the bottom of this hill. Is it up there calling? Hear him shouting. I'm sort of going forward along this path and heading finger round the back of here to get back up there. It's actually easier to go around to the back of that one. It's actually quite a steep climb to go up this side. Honest to God, I don't feel that fit currently, so I'm picking out the easiest route in the landscape. it stayed dry, which is amazing because it's so cloudy. There's nothing but me and the sheep and the birds, of course, and I'm completely out of puff, but we're all good. We're nearly up to this other path. I actually made a mistake, so I sort of missed it in the bracken. So what I'm having to do now is come to sort of here. There's a path here that'll take me up and round, which is fine. I've walked that path loads of times, but it's really frustrating because I think you can just make out that I should be on that one, just there. I'm heading now is, you can't see it, but halfway back here there's actually the wall going around the top of the Iron Age hill fort. It's like there, I think. Yeah, about there. So I'm just going to walk across this and get up there, and I'll show you because it's very cool, because just there where you can see the gap in the bracken, maybe just on that wall, it's actually quite high. You can see the entrance into the fort. So I don't know what happened. My camera went off. Hopefully I just filmed what I just said, otherwise it's just going to be bollocks. Anyway, what I was saying is the first hour is really hard. It's hard mentally and it's hard physically, and it's particularly hard at the moment because I've been walking in Orkney and Orkney is really flat, and the pull up here, even though the elevation is not that high, perhaps 400 metres, it's quite slow. So, I have no idea if you could hear me before, but I just ducked down here out of the wind. This is the first time I've spoken on camera, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I thought it was time, and the reason I decided to do it now is because after spending a month away on Orkney and sort of opening up some conversation points on Instagram, which people responded really positively to, I thought it was time that I kind of explored talking about some of these topics on my YouTube channel. And it's a really big deal for me to, like, A, show myself, and B, talk to you. So yeah, be kind to me. But I'm walking, and this is really what I wanted to talk about. And the reason I started walking was because of my mental health. This year particularly, if I start from there, I mean, I've always walked. It's always been something that I've done, and I've always done it. I've sort of powered through lots of things just by walking, and not necessarily with a destination, but always with a purpose to clear my head, which it always does. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, over the winter months I had a really hard time, and this was for several reasons, and I really let my mental health and my physical health, which was the big concern, go downhill. I was not doing anything, and I started to have an issue with, like, overeating, And I got to a point in the spring where I felt so uncomfortable with myself, and so yeah, I don't know, I was shot to bits, and I started to get inspired to start walking again. But it's really hard when you start something, isn't it? It's like you I don't know, it's those first steps. You start and you see no reward, and you're unfit and you're unhealthy, and you think, oh crap, this is never gonna work. And I just kept pushing through. So I've been doing yoga, and I started to do more yoga again. So lots of strength work, which helped, because that helped obviously start to make me feel more mobile, which is great. And I think it's a really important sort of thing to talk about, and you'll have to forgive me if I'm jumping around all over the place. I didn't prepare for this at all. I just decided that today is a really bad mental health day for me, and I've had a couple of really rough days because I've been going through some stuff. Something's happened. I was triggered, and lots of negative emotions came up which I needed to deal with, and I set myself this task to walk, and I always set myself a sort of destination if I can, and today was to walk to the top of this hill fort, which I haven't done for probably a year. And I thought I'd bring my camera with me and I'd film as I went, but what I wanted was really the point I was trying to sort of, the thing I'm wanting to talk about most is the fact that mental health is still sort of a taboo subject, and I want it to become more visible. And I think lots of people are starting to try and make it visible by not being ashamed of talking about their health. I've been ashamed, like always, to talk about my health. I always felt like I was a victim, or I didn't want to be seen as not being a strong person. I think that's one of the crux of it. I've always considered myself strong, but yeah, I'm not that strong, not really. But anyway, walking is a really soulful experience. You don't need to go far, you don't need to be doing much, you can just like set yourself a destination, set yourself a time, set yourself some sort of purpose, and then just plod. I'm not into these extremist behaviour, like you gotta have the right kit, you've gotta have the right tech, you've gotta like cover long distances. It's about endurance. It's not about those things. It's about just doing it. And I think I was saying previously, when the wind was blowing and you probably couldn't hear me, that the first hour for me is always the most difficult. Like if I can push through the first hour, because it's almost like the oxygen needs to start pumping through my brain, and my brain needs to start working properly, and I have to just like keep going, because I could really get to a point where I could stop. I could just stop. But I just kept going, and then I suddenly feel better. I don't know, like some sort of trigger in my brain. I can see more clearly, and I'm glad for it sometimes, because sometimes I wake up and I'm so mixed up, and I'm so like confused or angry or mixed up, and I feel like I want to say things to people that I shouldn't say, and I decide that I'll go for a walk, it will clear my head, and then I can perhaps see more clearly, and then I can speak more clearly. And that's it really, that's all I want to say. There's lots of subjects I'd like to talk about around walking, like being a female lone walker and walking in Wales, and also being an older woman in her 40s walking, because mental health and hormones and all that is something that also needs to be talked about. And I'm going to get braver and talk to you more, I think, on this channel, and you're going to have to be patient, because I know that there are people here that like to see my, they show up to see my aesthetic sort of crafting And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep making videos where I, you know, where I'm painting, drawing, doing whatever, showing you other aspects of my life. But this is a major aspect of my life, and I want to share this with you. It's hard being on social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, because it's hard to know what you should share, what you shouldn't share, and yeah, I just think it's important to share this, to share the whole picture. So thank you for being here. Thank you if you've been following me for a while, and you're going to continue doing that, because this is like an important topic to me, and being visible and being here and showing up in front of you is a major thing for me. So thank you, and yeah, I'll speak to you again.